What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bench Podcast. Joey here, joined by my brother Angel. How you doing, big dog?
Good. You told me a couple of shows ago, the good night's coming. It's not coming. I'm feeling
The long night.
I'm feeling it today. I was watching highlights today, just highlights of like the last season. I miss football.
Camp is pretty much wrapped up here, and we're not going to see the guys on the field, practice field anyway, for a couple weeks. What? Almost a month?
About a month,
yeah. Mid to late July, we'll start to see training camps. Luckily, we will have something for you almost every day.
Nearly every day.
We are continuing our series through every team by team, previewing the 2025-2026 season. Today, the Chicago Bears is where we'll be having our conversation. The Bears.
The winners of the offseason every year.
I mean, looking at this roster, going through this team, going through what happened last year, what they did in the offseason, once again, like, I don't know how this team's not going to be good next year.
We said the same thing last year.
Yet there's a lot of faith that they're going to figure out how, to be bad.
They're always the same team. We want them to be better, but they just never kind of.
You understand the optimism. I'm not even a fan, and I'm optimistic. I can't imagine being a fan looking at this roster and not being optimistic with the coaching additions and the player additions. I don't know how you do it, but we'll talk about the Chicago Bears today. Excited about that. Episode 243 as we continue our march toward 300.
We're going, baby. At this rate, we're going to get there quick.
If you're watching, that's true. If you're watching for YouTube for the first time, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Whether you're a day one or this is your first day, we're so glad you're joining us. Talking a little football all year long, going into season 3 of the Bench Podcast. Actually,
it's crazy.
We're recording this on a Monday.
Yeah.
And today is the 2-year anniversary of actually starting the YouTube page.
Oh, really?
So literally 2 years ago, we started this channel. We didn't start posting till July, so not.
Oh, shooting.
Yeah. So we are going into season 3. Very excited about it. A lot of things planned for you. We're going to be doing some new stuff this offseason. We're not quite ready to tell you about it yet, but we will have it available for you very soon here in the near future for all you football fans. If you're listening on the audio podcast, thanks for joining us for the audio version of the Bench Podcast as well, whether that's Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. We're on those platforms, and thanks for joining us on those. Brought to you, of course, by the Fans First Sports Network. Yeah. And then follow us on all the social medias at Bench Show is where you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. That it? I think
that's it. Let's get into the Bears. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's get into the Bears.
This episode is brought to you by BETR Picks. New users get $10 free just for signing up. No deposit needed. Plus, BETR will match your first deposit 100% up to $25. Use our code BNCHD or click the link in the description below to claim your offer and start picking BETR today. Sports just got better.
All right, let's jump to this Chicago Bears preview 2026-2025. Of course, the first year of the Ben Johnson era. The biggest addition of the offseason is Ben Johnson. Make no mistake about it.
The 2-year waiting period of which team he'll pick, where he'll go, is over. He's with the Bears.
It's got to feel good that he has turned down teams for a couple years and waited for the right opportunity, for the opportunity that he wanted. And he wanted to be in Chicago. He wanted to work with Caleb Williams, and he wanted to work with Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
That has to feel good.
Yeah, and then as far as free agents, head coaching positions, it was him and Mike Vrabel top of my list. So for the Bears to land him, for him to go there with Caleb Williams, playmakers on both sides of the ball, it's not like an empty roster. It's a nice fit for both.
Vrabel's probably a little safer because he's proven he's been a head coach. He's won. He's led multiple playoff teams.
Those are my top two right there. Were those two. So for the Bears to get one of them, it's good.
Yeah, but Vrabel's probably the safer pick because he's been to the playoffs and led multiple teams. But I think you should be equally excited as for Ben Johnson. Like, that's equally exciting. I think those were the top two guys, but yet I'd be fine with either one of them is kind of what I'm trying to say for the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson could be the next Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, that kind of offensive coach. Helped Jared Goff reach Super Bowl or be a Super Bowl contender within 2 years. So that's what you're hoping for Caleb Williams. Ryan Poles has been aggressive. He's been very aggressive this offseason. It was a 3-year window. This is the third year, I believe, and it felt like it in the offseason.
The Ryan Poles timeline, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like it. And even though they were active, they didn't get a lot of old guys. But besides Tooney, all their guys are relatively young or in their prime.
Yeah, Tooney, Gray Jarrett's a little long in the tooth as well.
Oh, yeah. But
other than
besides
that,
that,
they got guys in their prime.
And then they drafted aggressive.
And they drafted really well. Last year, looking back at last year, it wasn't as bad as we thought it was. I think the expectations had a lot to do with how we frame last year.
The best Bears game I saw last year was when they went to England to play the Jags, when Caleb Williams had that 4 touchdown. Mm-hmm. You could see it. They're like, oh, man, these guys were to just get the right footing in the right direction. Caleb Williams could really soar. The defense is really good. Yeah, it's not as bad. It just was a shit show from like whenever they fired Eberflus on.
Record was 9-8.
Which is better than most people think.
Barely missed the playoffs. That's the best record since 2018. People talk about them as if they were the Giants last year.
No, they were
a 3-win team. Like, no, they were a good team. 9-8 is a record some teams would kill to have.
It's just totally.
The Steelers based their whole philosophy on that.
Yeah, 9-8 is like a Steeler. Yeah, and it's like just like you said, these out there are a 5-win team. Like, no, actually, this is, you could totally tell it's a team held back by something. So he changed the head coach and the play callers on both sides. Maybe that's what was holding back, because he felt like they were just kind of like a cage beast waiting for the right guy to,
maybe the reason we have this feeling about the Bears because they haven't won a playoff game since 2010. That's the longest drought.
That doesn't seem right.
The longest drought in franchise history.
Who was the quarterback for the Bears?
Rex Grossman.
It's been that long.
2010? No, man, that might have been sooner.
Was that the Lovie Smith year that he won like 11 games and then they fired him?
I don't remember. I could look. You want to look it up?
No, it's just it doesn't matter. It's just a long time.
But yeah, 2010 is the last time they won. They won a playoff game, and the last Super Bowl win was 1985. That's Super Bowl 20.
How many times have we heard that in 1985 Bears about the team?
Yep. If you hadn't heard about them, just spend about 5 minutes with a Bears fan.
1985
Bears. I wasn't born yet, and I'm 36 now, so that's getting pretty old.
50 years ago. 40 years ago.
So the question is, can Ben Johnson be the guy to do it?
Yeah.
Can he be the guy to lead the Bears into a return of the postseason and be that guy that for, I think, of the Chicago Cubs? Interesting enough, when they finally bring in, was it Madden? Is that the guy?
Yeah, Madden.
They bring in Coach Madden, and he leads the Cubs back to the promised land after all those years. Is Ben Johnson that guy for this Bears team? We talked a lot about Ben Johnson. We'll get back to him in a second, but Caleb Williams,
like the tip of this point here,
is the most important person in the franchise.
Yeah, franchise quarterback.
Yeah, like Ben Johnson might be like the most impactful addition this year, but it's all about Caleb Williams.
You don't get Ben Johnson without Caleb Williams. There's no way he goes there if they have like Justin Fields, or a guy that's not Caleb Williams. He's like the reason why.
Right.
The hype with his draft process was incredible. Number 1 overall. He had the paint and nail stuff. He had the weird cry into his mama's bosom stuff.
Yes.
And all that was just hype for Caleb Williams.
Yep.
Then last year he came in and started off okay, had some peaks, and then ended up kind of like leveling out.
Yeah.
So better than what people think.
I think because of the expectations of the Bears, the expectations of Caleb Williams, and the season that Jaden Daniels have, we also underestimate the season that Caleb Williams had. Yes. I think he had a fine rookie season as well.
It's fine. Which is fine.
He didn't come guns a-blazing, but most quarterbacks don't. By the way, most really good quarterbacks don't. Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl, and he was nothing his rookie year. He wasn't even starting.
Patrick Mahomes didn't play his rookie year.
Patrick Mahomes didn't play. I mean, we go on and on. Josh Allen, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like, this doesn't mean he's not going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time even. Tom Brady didn't play. So, like, Caleb Williams is still very much on a trajectory to be the quarterback we all thought he could be. That could still happen. Yeah. It just didn't happen year one. 3,200 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Obviously, the interceptions are high. Par for the course for a rookie. Doesn't bother me.
Those are pretty good rookie numbers. 3,000 yards, 20 and 14.
Especially for a gunslinger.
And for a team that had so much dysfunction at play calling. If you just watch, I just dare you to watch one highlight of one game of them last year. Yeah. You realize how bad the offensive system was. And how Caleb Williams was able to pull a 20-14 season out of that total shit show of an offensive game plan.
62% completion percentage, which is really impressive because he was pressured on nearly 40% of his dropbacks.
Horrible.
Top 10 highest in the NFL.
That's not
pressured
great.
All the time. Yep. Completed 65% of his passes when he was clean. So to end up with an average of 62, you got to imagine that completion percentage, even when he was pressured, is still not like toilet stuff. Like we're still thinking like a decent quarterback when it comes to those situations. QBR of 85, that's just outside the top 15. Fourth in yards after catch, which means he's throwing with accuracy. He's anticipating. He's leading his receivers. Led all rookies with deep completions. He has big playability. He flashed that. Don't let anyone tell you he does. He definitely has that. Yeah. And he has the weapons there to do that as well. 28 deep completions. That's 20 or more yards. And then showed some clutch ability there with 2 fourth-quarter comebacks in his rookie season. Caleb Williams, speak to Bears fans. How should you feel about Caleb Williams going in year 2?
Fantastic. He's healthy. He didn't get hurt. Running around.
Talk about that.
That's just right there. You've seen, remember the early years of Joe Burrow, of Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
Took a while because they kept getting hurt. They were Burrow towards ACL, right? And there was a bunch of stuff that happened. The fact that he's healthy going to year 2 with that bad offensive line that's gotten fixed. You just said he was 65% with a clean pocket. They addressed that. We'll talk about that later.
We sure did.
So if you just think about better offensive line, healthy, one of the better play designers we've seen. So, from the offensive coordinator position, head coach is different, but still, Ben Johnson known for his, that Lions offense was rolling for 2 years because of him. Well, probably because of him. I would feel
sure. I'd put the most, I'd say the biggest reason that Lions offense is.
And we'll see this year if the Lions are, we'll see this year. But still, he's a big reason why he was calling the shots, he was calling the plays.
Yeah.
But I feel fantastic, healthy, ready to go. All the reports out of OTAs that he's on better, that he hit him, even himself. There was a weird thing about his dad saying he didn't want to go. Did you hear that?
Yeah, what was it?
His dad was saying some weird comments that he just came out and said, "I'm a Bear. I want to be a Bear. Let's win with the Bears."
Yeah.
If you're a Bears fan, you hear that, and then you get the hype and you gotta watch the highlights and you kind of sift through all the shit. You're like, this guy's still a good prospect, talent, and everything.
And that being said, there's a lot less shit. We were told this guy's a diva. There's going to be a lot of locker room stuff.
I haven't heard anything.
Tell me a story about Caleb Williams being a diva or not getting along with teammates or doing something that's detrimental to the team that's off the field. That doesn't happen.
Yeah,
he said the right thing.
Unless they've kept it quiet, we haven't heard anything. He's not like Russell Wilson weird where the guys, I feel like the guys like him and
he's a little funky.
He's just a weird.
The NFL's filled with those guys.
It's literally filled with those guys.
You'll know this. Peak Von Miller was a weird dude.
No, he was not a normal guy.
He was a weird guy, but it's fine. He ball out. It doesn't matter.
If
They've probably been a weird guy the whole lives.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch is a little bit of an oddball, and he's one of the best running backs of all time.
Yep.
So you don't have to be and that's just running back, but there's quarterbacks out there who are a little quirky too.
Yeah, I agree with you. So if you're out there and you're a hater of Caleb Williams, I really just don't get it. I don't get it. Those are fine rookie numbers, especially considering the situation. Similar to I think Drake May numbers. So, I mean, and when we give Drake May all the credit, and he was dealing with the crap situation as well, but he gets the credit.
Because he didn't come in with the weird stuff off the field.
And the hype.
But if we're praising him, the little caveat to have him, and hopefully he'll back down this year. Just a little review. He played hero ball a little too much for me rookie year, which I get, kind of learning. If you could dial that back, get to position, get to reads, 1, 2, 3, whatever, sky's the limit. But a little bit hero ball, which is just what he plays like. If you can harness that to like they with Patrick Mahomes, now he's a distant quarterback, whatever, a very good quarterback. Yeah, I could see it. He's oozing potential.
Yeah, that's gonna be the hopefully the magic of Ben Johnson though, because this is not Jared Goff where you just want zero outside the box, outside the play system.
Yeah.
Extending plays. You don't want that from Jared Goff.
Maybe that's why Ben Johnson took this.
You kind of want it from Caleb Williams.
Maybe he's like, I want a quarterback who can make some plays.
Exactly. You kind of want that hero ball. You just want him to
hone it back.
Temper those impulses all the time and take what's easy from time to time. But you also want to let him be Caleb Williams. You want to let him be that playmaker. He's obviously athletic. He throws the ball on some awkward platforms, some throws I've never seen before.
Yep.
Like Aaron Rodgers type stuff.
Patrick Mahomes type
right,
stuff.
Where he's just physics-wise, how are you throwing the ball with that much velocity across the field when your body is contorted going the other way? It makes no sense. He's that kind of player. So, yeah, Caleb Williams wanted to start there because
it's where
he gets crapped on a lot, and I get it. Maybe he even brings a lot of that himself because of how flamboyant he is.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, you should be pretty positive on him. Let's move on to this offensive outlook on some of their weapons last year. Let's go into some of the weapons they added this offseason because they definitely prioritized that. And then, of course, talk a little about the offensive line. We'll start with DJ Moore. Still wide receiver 1, but it's kind of like wide receiver 1, question mark? I think so.
Yeah, I think
the talent's there.
He's good. I love DJ Moore.
He had his worst season since leaving Carolina. I think that's why people
1,100 yards, 85 catches,
right,
7 touchdowns. People need to calm down. That's decent. Like
still top 10 in yards after catch.
Yeah, he still has the juicy thing's 28, so
I think he
fine.
still has it. Yeah, I mean, his last year under contract in Chicago, though, so that's interesting. Haven't heard anything about an extension. And then they drafted a receiver, which we'll talk about, and a tight end. So we'll see if he's in their long-term plans. Rome Odunze, I think he had a disappointing rookie season. If he was talking about disappointing rookies, I think Rome Odunze is probably there. We get why it would happen.
Yeah, and then we get, there was the Keenan Allen thing, but he was hurt for a while, so he had chances. Moore was able to pull out a good season out of a bad thing, which is okay, he's a good wideout.
Right.
So, halfly, he's a rookie, so you give him a little leeway, but then you're but you had opportunity.
You're a top 10 pick, and you had plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, so it's
and you turned that into 40 catches, 6 touchdowns, and under 500 yards.
Not great.
I don't think that's great. Yeah, and then it's year 1.
And they drafted a first-round wideout.
Yep.
So
immediately.
So I'm worried about his. I don't know. Obviously Ryan Pace was the GM, but Ben Johnson's the play caller, and he wants his guys out there. I'm not sure if push comes to shove, he's going to put him over Luther Burton or one of the guys he drafted this year. Bad rookie year. I'm not. Honestly, I watched him play. I don't know what he does well. That's just not great. I don't know. I don't get the hype behind him a little.
I'm excited to see if he doesn't pop in this offense. Then I'm going to lower my expectations of Rome Odunze. If he's not doubling all these numbers,
he needs to.
Except for touchdowns, obviously 12 is a lot of touchdowns. But if he's not at around 80 catches, around 900 yards this year as a wide receiver 2 or 3, whatever Luther Burden ends up being, then I'm going to be okay, Rome Odunze maybe just is not a wide receiver 1 for sure, and maybe just a low-end wide receiver 2 type. Cole Kmet, been on the team for a while.
Man, I really thought he would be, but he'd be better by now.
He's turned into kind of like not Dalton Schultz, the
Dawson
Knox of this team. Dawson Knox for the Bills.
You're just solid, which is great.
He's just solid. He plays all the time. 96% of snaps played. Led all NFL Titans in snap percentage. He's just always there. He's not bad at anything. You could keep him on the field at all times.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, so I think Cole Kmet's nice still. I'm glad they've kept him around. DeAndre Swift didn't really work out the way I think a lot of people expected. He was
the first signing at free agency last year.
He's definitely overpaid. He's not worth all that money.
Yeah.
But he's still just DeAndre Swift. He's electric with the ball in his hands. He had 1,000 yards? 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns.
And Deuce Staley fucking hates him still.
And Deuce Staley.
I will never forget that.
Yep.
He just yelling at him. Well, some kind of Hard Knocks, I forgot, but yeah, either way.
He had 45 catches, so he had he had 6 more catches than Rome Odunze. So he was still a passing threat out of the backfield, and a top 5 running back in per route run. So he's still that electric pass catching running back out of the backfield. We'll see how Ben Johnson uses him.
They've worked together, but he wasn't electric with Ben Johnson then.
He's kind of the same guy.
Yeah, he's kind of just what he is. I don't think he was with the Eagles and barely had a good season. We saw Sagan run for 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
So he's just a safe running back now.
The running back people are excited about because they didn't end up drafting one is Roschon Johnson. 470 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, a great pass protector as well. People are excited about Roschon Johnson because of what David Montgomery did in the Ben Johnson offense,
like the hammer in the offense. Yeah,
I don't know if that's fair for us. We always do this. All right, Ben Johnson's in Chicago. Who's his Montgomery? Who's his Gibbs?
Well, sometimes they just
Amon-Ra St. Brown. It rarely works out that way.
Yeah, sometimes you play with the tools that you're given.
Right.
I was given 2 running backs. I'm gonna use 2 running backs. Maybe now I only one.
If Roschon actually isn't as good as David Montgomery, he's not just going to get by default the David Montgomery role.
He's not going to get 10 carries in the red zone.
You need that role in your offense. Yeah. I think Ben Johnson's creative enough to eliminate that role.
Or not as prideful to
funnel targets elsewhere.
Yeah, oh yeah. But all that being said, it'd be pretty interesting to see if he has something. Because he always had a little bit of juice. Him and Herbert is now gone. So now it's just Swift and Roschon Johnson.
Yep.
You could see it. He was a good running back in college, and he's shown little flashes.
They're going to need it because Ben Johnson's offense is a running offense.
Yes.
It's a tough running offense. They invest in the O-line.
And Swift kind of tends to bounce to the outside a little bit.
Someone's gonna take over in this backfield. If it's not Swift, then maybe it's Roschon Johnson, or they're adding a big name next year. But they're going to need this running game to balance out Ben Johnson's offense to take the pressure off of Caleb Williams. Something's going to need to happen with this running game. That's why it's interesting that they just ran it back with the same guys from last year.
Yeah, what was this? Last year, the Bears rushed for 4.3 yards per touch, which is 18th. That's not going to happen with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is not going to let them be
Ben
18th.
Johnson or this upgraded line.
Yeah, like there's no way that they're going to repeat how bad they were, which is nice for Roschon and nice for Swift.
Now let's look at some additions on this offense that has everyone excited. We'll start with Luther Burden, even though he wasn't the first rookie taken by them. Luther Burden taken by the Chicago Bears. Dynamic route runner, expected to contribute immediately as a slot receiver. His last season in college went 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. And the season before he got drafted was his big year. And then I think he lost like a good quarterback and the offense changed and he kind of cut his numbers in half. But if you go back into just like all throughout his college production, he's a little DJ Moore-ish as far as the way he plays. He's not built like DJ Moore.
Yeah, I just can't get a grip of what this guy is. Like, are you...
Who knows?
Yeah, like, the Deebo Samuel thing but Deebo Samuel's kind of built. He's not as built as Deebo Samuel.
You know, he's not this guy. But do you remember when Justin Jefferson came in the league? What did we hear about Justin Jefferson? He's a good receiver, but he can only play in the slot. He's a slot guy.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson. And so we just don't know. Like, maybe Ben Johnson sees something in this guy and thinks, no, this guy is an outside receiver.
Ben Johnson was not all the reason why Amon-Ra became Amon-Ra, but he uses these slot wideouts.
Fourth round pick.
Pretty damn good.
Although let's be up to date here. Do you know what's been going on with Luther Burden recently? Not on the practice field, and
what?
Ben Johnson gave him a little spanking in the media. Oh. Like, hey, you need to be on the field if you're gonna play. If you're gonna.
Oh, Ben Johnson's been a little tough.
He was a little tough on him.
A little tough guy.
Okay, get off the training table. Get on the field.
You can't get better on the training table, young fella.
I thought those situations never go well. Luther, get on the field.
I don't know when calling out your player at the podium works out for anybody.
Colston Loveland's the other guy they picked. That's a top 10 pick for them. Listen, he went to Michigan, so he has that pedigree.
This is the guy with no yak.
This is a guy with no yak, like less than 10 yards of yak in 4 years.
I don't like that.
Supposed to be a good blocker.
He's Cole Kmet.
Great hands, great like fluid route runner. I think he's a better athlete than Cole Kmet. It's going to have a more developed route tree than Cole Kmet. But I don't know.
Listen, if you want to run the ball a lot,
they went and got him.
You get 2 tight ends on the field, extra blocking. You really get physical because you don't have to. Clearly, Cole Kmet can play any position because he's on the field all the time.
Right.
So you get 2 tight ends on the field with this good offensive line. You start running the ball. Started, like being a physical football team. Yeah, I could. I don't really love the pick at 10. There was a lot of players I would rather have besides him, but like you said, it's Ben Johnson's guy. He picked him.
This is like the most Ben Johnson guy so far. Like, he went and got him.
At 10.
At 10.
Like, that's
above Tyler Warren, above all the other options there. Above
Tyler Warren.
Tedero McMillan was there. You could have taken another receiver.
Yeah.
But you went and got...
No, Ted wasn't there. But either way, I know what
you're right. Yeah. Ted wasn't there. But yeah, he could have got a number of players there, and he went and got Colston Loveland, who a lot of people had as the second best tight end.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, this is the guy who coached Sam Laporta to, at the time, a record-breaking rookie season.
Yeah.
This is the guy who coached... I think he was there for Hawkinson still.
I'm
not sure.
Was, but either way, he's used his tight ends.
He knows what to do with the tight end.
Yeah,
he knows what to do with the athletic.
Yeah, if you run the ball that much, at some point you have tight end on the field, so you know how to use the tight end on. Yeah, so you trust him with Ben. This is more of a Ben Johnson trust pick than it is a. I feel like if it wasn't Ben Johnson at 10, he'd get picked later behind Tyler Warren.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson picked him, so a little bit of you trust Ben Johnson to use this guy the right way.
Most likely to contribute as a rookie, Luther Burden or Colston Loveland?
That's a great question. I would say Loveland because you're not as worried as Cole Kmet. Like, you have DJ Moore out there who's going to get targets.
More to wait through.
Yeah. Like, it's going to be interesting. I want to see the snap count by week 8.
Yeah.
How they're splitting the tight ends reps.
Are either of them, you think, a key contributor?
No. I think they're both can get, I think in like unison, they're both going to be effective.
Yeah.
Like as a one.
But
I'm not sure if one's going to be like.
They'll just be one of the tools.
Yeah. Like one of the, Ben Johnson, what's a lot of stuff to play with?
The Bears did some major work on the offensive line. That's kind of where
incredible work.
Their best work really. They added a handful of players. Joe Tooney they trade from. He was over there doing everything for the Chiefs.
He's been good since he started in the league.
Playing running back, playing quarterback, playing slot receiver.
He just does whatever.
Left tackle, everything. Even though he did get owned in the Super Bowl, he goes back to his right position. I'm sad. Joe Tooney didn't deserve that.
No,
he's a guard.
Yeah, he's a guard, and because you're desperate, you put him out there position so he looked bad.
Just the fact that he was trying to play left tackle is actually pretty.
Some of these linemen are like, I'm not moving, because now that's bad tape that they have. Clearly, it didn't affect his value in the trade market and his money for him as far as getting paid, because he got paid and he got traded.
Joe Tooney, they add him, quality ad. They trade for Jonah Jackson to take over that other.
He was solid with Ben Johnson.
Okay, yeah, and yeah.
So
Detroit.
that's nice little ad.
And then you still have Tevin Jenkins, I believe.
Yeah, no. Jenkins went to the Browns.
Did he move on?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. But Drew Dahlman, the best center on the market.
Yes.
Signed him right away. I think that's a huge signing.
Yeah, they just beefed up the interior. They still have Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright at tackle. So yeah, you still have youth. You're not too old besides Tooney. So yeah.
So Darnell Wright just allowed 7 pressures last year. That's pretty good. Braxton Jones allowed 5 sacks as a rookie and a PFF top 3 rookie tackle. So he's well on his way to be one of the better tackles in the league. So you could see this O-line, who last year allowed 35 sacks, take a huge step forward this year.
Yeah.
And maybe enter that top 10 conversation.
They need one of these guys to take off and be like an elite pass protector, run blocker. But yeah, they have the potential. They have the offensive line, and obviously the what's the Lions head coach? I'm blanking out.
Dan Campbell.
The Dan Campbell tree emphasizes good O-lines. You saw Aaron Glenn, disciple draft Membu first round, top 7, and then you see now Ben Johnson just overemphasize offensive line. So yeah, this is the best thing you do for a young quarterback. I'll take this over getting weapons. Build an offensive line. We'll figure out the weapons when we get there. Build an offensive line for a quarterback, incredible.
On paper, is this a top 5 offense?
No.
On paper?
No, it doesn't have.
I feel like we should start saying in Madden.
Well, it doesn't have another playmaker besides a proven playmaker besides DJ Moore.
Yeah.
If it had a running back that we kind of liked more than they need a guy to step up here. And there's unknowns. There's 2 rookies on this offense.
And Caleb Williams.
And Caleb Williams. So you'd rank it like DJ Moore, Caleb Williams, or whichever one you'll pair that as.
There are paths to this offense being one of the better offenses. We'll have to wait and see. But
top 15, 10-ish around there.
Yeah, you could see this. I mean, if Caleb Williams is the guy, I think they have a ceiling of top 5 offense even.
Yeah, that's true. If Caleb Williams steps up his game, and he'll elevate everybody. So we'll see.
Let's move over to the defense now, where they didn't do as much work because they didn't need to. This is a great defense last year with Eberflus, and we'll see how they are without Eberflus. I think they're going to be just fine because they're stacked, they're loaded, and they played well. This is not the same as the offense where, hey, they're stacked, but we haven't seen it come together yet. We've seen this defense come together and play really, really good football for prolonged periods of time.
Mm-hmm. They have a good secondary, good linebackers, and a good defensive line. So that's all you need.
Montez Sweat, obviously the big addition from 2 years ago, 12.5 sacks, 6 forced fumbles in his first full year as this Bears leader in the defense. He also led in pressures. Of course, they have that great tandem at linebacker. TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds just continue to be a solid duo.
They extended Edmonds too.
Yeah.
So Edwards. So yeah, they have these guys locked up. Very good tandem. Modern linebackers too, because they can cover.
Yep. Some really strong additions on defensive line with Dayo Adingbo and Grady Jarrett, kind of a cast off from the Falcons.
Yeah.
Who still plays really good football. I think they needed Adingbo really, really badly to kind of counter the Montez Sweat side.
I know we were talking about their draft picks. I wanted them to draft Mikael Williams there at 10, pair him with Sweat. But yeah, either way, improved defensive line on a defense that's already good. So that's always a plus.
And that secondary, Jalen Johnson has turned into that
guy.
He'll
have one of these years where he'll be the best corner in football.
Yep. 3 interceptions, 15 passes defense. He signed a 5-year extension there, so he'll be there long term. And he is CB1. CB2 is pretty polarizing, actually. There's a lot of people in Chicago who want nothing to do with Tyreek Stevenson.
Because that picture.
He's a little bit like C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
it was that one thing where that Commander's Hail Mary where he was facing the crowd. When the ball was snapped, he was facing the crowd. And then all of a sudden there's a Hail Mary and goes the wrong way for them. And then now that's all he's known for.
Yeah.
Which just sucks. He's a good corner, but now you kind of seen it. It sucks for him personally, but it is 100% his fault.
Right. And he's owned it. Like I think it's at this point a little blown out of proportion. Like when it happened, yeah, it's a bad look. Is it the reason that play happened? I don't know. I don't know if I do.
Little Jay Nails magic, little Hail Mary magic.
Right. But I think he's a fine CB2.
He's fine.
I think he's fine. And he has a high upside. We've seen him play really, really good football as well.
Gordon's good too.
Gordon, Brisker, Kevin Byard, all those veterans in the back end, they're all solid.
They're good.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
The secondary is their most complete defensive unit in secondary.
4th in takeaways at 27, 9th in points allowed. And so you see this defense could be one of those that are really carrying this team.
Yeah, which is nice. If you have a system and a quarterback that needs time to bake, you could rely on that defense.
I haven't looked at who their defensive coordinator is now.
Probably not as good as Eberflus, because Eberflus, I felt bad for Eberflus, because when he was just focusing on defense, that defense was great.
I forgot Dennis Allen. The Saints. A good defense coordinator.
Classic 4-3.
Not a good head coach.
Not a good coach, but a good coordinator. He's under Sean Payton for years. Had a lot of good defenses down there in New Orleans, but not good at coach. But yeah, just much like Eberflus, good coordinator, horrible head coach. But go back to coordinator, yeah.
So you see those are most of the additions in the offseason, including the head coach. Which one do you think will be the most impactful this year?
Ben Johnson. Yeah, just get the quarterback right.
Yeah,
just him and Caleb Williams got to go hand in hand into the next step era of this Bears, football team. If that works out, the whole team looks different. Because once you start winning, a lot of the errors just kind of magically go away. Winning cures a lot of illnesses. So if these guys can pair well together and understand each other and weaknesses and strengths and play calling and what Caleb Williams likes and what Ben Johnson likes and find the middle ground to where it's not a copy of the Lions offense, but it's as productive as that.
Right.
That's all. That's a win.
So let's do some bet the house or no. Caleb Williams, 4,000 passing yards, 30 touchdowns.
Oh, it's a twofer? Yeah. You know what?
Taking both those.
I'll do that.
4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. This team's in a good place.
I feel like
keeps the
what's easier, 4,000 yards or 30 touchdowns?
Yards.
Yeah,
because they really struggled with. I don't have the number in front of me. They really struggled with red zone stuff, which I think Ben Johnson is going to help with the most. Because he's such a creative.
He's just going to run the ball.
Play designer. Yeah. Well, he's also creative. Like you think of all those Sam Laporta touchdowns. A lot of them are designed plays.
Yeah.
By Ben Johnson. Wide receivers. That's DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and Luther Burden. You think they eclipse the 2,200 yards mark? 2,200 yards between those three receivers.
I'll give DJ Moore like 1,100 minimum. So that's, you could splice it up between those two guys. Oh, wait, what? 2 tight ends. No. The tight end's going to get some yards.
Yeah, I think below as well.
Yeah. But that's not a bad thing because you have 2 tight ends who are going to eat up yards and targets.
Do these running backs, that's Roschon Johnson, Joe Swift, do they eclipse 1,800 yards, 15 touchdowns?
That's too high.
I don't think so either.
That's too high.
That's a dominant running game.
That's like top 5.
See, that's the thing. Like it's
you need Roschon to become
we're a little hypocritical because we are so high in this offensive line. But we're so blah on these running backs.
You know why? We were high on Eagles' offensive line was fantastic. Swift didn't have a great year.
Yeah.
So it's mainly just the lead guy being Swift, which makes me.
Now, let's be clear. We're not saying this is the Eagles' offensive line.
No. But I'm saying he's played average behind a great offensive line.
Right.
So if it's not this Bears offensive line is not as great as the Eagles,
right?
This might just be average or below average at times.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just you need Roschon to become a guy we don't know yet. So under for sure. What's the number? 1,500 yards?
1,800.
That's way too much.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Defense, top 10 in points, sacks, and takeaways. Is it that kind of defense?
It's top 10. I'm not sure all those stats, though. I'll split in the middle.
Top 10 in sacks.
Half your money.
Top 10 in sacks.
No.
Top 10 in points allowed.
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't know if Sweat has another level that he can get to.
Yeah, you know what? That's the next thing on here. Is Montez Sweat? Does he break 14 sacks? I don't think we've ever seen him break 14 sacks.
Yeah, I don't know.
He might not be that kind of guy.
I think he's more of a. How do I put this? He's more. No, that's a.
I think he's a lot more.
He's more of a Robin than he's a Batman.
I think he's a lot more Brandon Graham than he is Von Miller.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a good piece, not a great piece.
Yeah, a cornerstone piece.
Yeah, those guys are needed. They're all over the NFL. But
12 sacks is nothing to
but those other
spit
guys,
the crap out of my tongue.
but the other guys, different tier. The Bosa's,
Right.
The Crosby's,
Right.
the Myles Garrett's. Those are harder to find. Obviously,
Much harder. Jalen Johnson, is he making an All-Pro team?
it's so hard with corners.
Yeah.
They're so up and down. NFC cornerbacks. Yeah, I would. You know what? Yeah. I think it's a nice bounce back. He's a playmaker too, so he can get a couple pick sixes and kind of sneak his way on there.
Last one here. Are you betting the house on Ben Johnson winning Coach of the Year?
If they win 9 games, he's gonna be Coach of the Year.
He's gonna be a favorite. He's
gonna be the favorite.
Yeah.
Like out the gate, I want to see wonder what the odds are, but he's probably the favorite. Him and Variable.
Before we get to the schedule prediction here, the over/under set, I think this is for FanDuel, is 9.5 wins. Okay, so 9.5 is where.
Yeah, I'll say the games and you decide.
Okay.
Because I did the ones for the last one. Bears schedule. Okay, one second. I'm on. Why did I go to SeatGeek.com?
I don't know, but their bye week is week 5. I think that's interesting. So you're gonna have 6 through 18.
You don't want the early ones. You want the later
6 to 18 with no breaks.
Not the greatest. Oh,
and they're.
they start with a lob though. Okay, you ready?
Are we looking at the same schedule?
Uh,
I don't have a lob as week 1.
Miami.
Is that the right schedule?
Yeah, 2025 schedule. Yeah, this is right. This is on Bears.com.
Oh, you're looking at preseason.
Still a lob.
Yeah,
I wasn't wrong.
yeah, even more of a lob. The preseason Miami team.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
God, never mind. Anti-lob.
And then when you said lob, I was like, lob, the Vikings?
Vikings week 1 on Monday night. What a game.
Great game.
Oh my, the sex appeal of that game is incredible.
Debut of J.J. McCarthy. You got Justin Jefferson on
Justin Jefferson on
Addison and that whole deal.
They have the Bears hype and the Bears fan.
Vikings going to win that game. Though.
This is in Soldier Field.
Vikings are more ready for that game. I go Vikings.
Okay, Vikings. So 1-0.
0-1.
I was thinking as a Vikings fan. I'm so pro Vikings. I think if I wasn't a Rams fan, I'd be a Vikings fan. Okay, here we go. If I wasn't a Broncos fan, I'd be a Rams fan.
You want me to? Yeah, for sure. You want me to keep track of the record?
I got it. Okay. Sorry, I was doing it a very stupid way. Okay, week 2 at the Lions, little reunion.
Ben Johnson going home is going to
at Detroit. That's a tough one.
They're going same thing. Lions are more ready for that game.
Starting off 0-2, off to great and big things. Week 3, home against Dallas.
I think that's their first win, and it's a big win. It's a really feel-good type moment for them.
And then week 4, another easy-ish game is Raiders.
They're coming off this Dallas win. They're feeling good, and they just tee off on the Raiders.
So there's 2-2, 500 headed into the bye week.
I like it.
That's a nice start.
God, it's an early bye week.
You don't want early bye week.
4 games.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Week 6 at the Commanders. Tough pull after a bye week. But after a bye week.
After a bye week, doesn't matter. Not going to man, that defense of Washington's so bad. This is a shootout that I think Jaden Daniels will win because he's just going to be the best player on the field. But closer than you think. But yeah, Washington wins that one as well.
Week 7 home against the Saints.
It's a nice little feel-good home cook in there.
They have a decent schedule. It's not really tough because they don't really have back-to-backs. Yeah. Week 8 at Baltimore. Tough one. And then week 9 at Cincinnati.
At Cincinnati.
By this time, Hendrickson would still be out.
I think that's a win. I'm very close to being out on the Bengals this year. There's so many issues.
I'm already
so
there.
Much drama.
Just join us, man. It's nice over here.
Yeah, I'm going Bears over the Bengals there.
Week 10, Giants. So Russell Wilson.
So that's
Russell Wilson comes to town.
It's a nice win.
Sorry. I clicked the wrong button. Okay. I can't do this.
This is why I usually do this.
I can't multitask. Okay. Week 11 at Minnesota.
At Minnesota.
Do they swept the series or they swept?
At Minnesota.
Yeah. If it would have slipped, it would have changed your mind. I feel like the away game first and the home game second.
Man, I just don't think they have enough to beat. Minnesota. I mean, it depends how J.J. McCarthy's doing.
Minnesota's gonna be good.
But that defense with Brian Flores still there is so good. I think they probably get swept by Minnesota this year.
They're 4-6. Their win total's not over under 9.5.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna get there. Okay, week 12. Aaron Rodgers just comes to town, Soldier Field.
Dub.
He's isn't he owner of the Bears? What is it?
Yeah, he's called himself the owner of the Bears
Because he's somewhat. I can't say it.
That's a dub.
Okay, 5-6. Here we go. We're climbing back up at Philly in Lincoln Financial
On I think Thursday night as well.
on Friday night. This is the Black Friday game.
That's such a loss. That's a loss.
That's a bad loss, too. Those fans be crazy.
Yeah.
At Green Bay, so they're staying.
That's a good game. I think the Packers and the Bears are closer than the Vikings and the Bears. I think they split the Green Bay series and they each win at home. So this would be a loss.
5-8. They're not going to get to 9 wins. Okay, here we go. Nice break. Browns.
That's a win.
What's the Browns?
Who the hell is starting at this point for the
What are the
Browns?
Browns going to look like?
December 14th. Who knows? And Jameis might be there. They might just trade back for Jameis.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's get Jameis back.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. The round 2 against the Packers.
I think they win this game against the Packers.
7-8.
And I think they really start to look good at this point.
At 7-8. Oh, man. Okay, week 17 at the Niners.
Yeah, I'll stick with that. I think they really start to look good. I think they beat the Niners here.
And then week 18, finish off home, Lions.
I think this is going to be a game that means something to the Lions because the NFC is going to be tight at the top with Eagles having a rough schedule, the Rams being really good, the Commanders coming on strong. I think the Lions have something to play for, and the Bears still win. I take the Bears in this one.
So they finish 9-8.
9-8. Same as last year.
That doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel right.
They're going to need to upset some teams.
They're going to need some players to step up.
Maybe they split with Minnesota.
The Commanders game is the one. Is an interesting one. Monday night.
Commanders game is very.
It could be just whoever has the ball last.
What else did I take away from them?
I mean, you
don't
gave
think
them.
they beat Philly. I don't think they beat Minnesota. I'm pretty hard.
You had them split the series with Green Bay. The Niners, you have them winning that one. It's they have a lot.
Detroit could be interesting too. They may sweep Detroit. Who knows what Detroit's gonna look like? They lost both coordinators.
Yeah, that's true. We assume when we get to the Lions on Friday, we'll figure out what their schedule looks like and how we predict it. But I think we just
so disappointed. I'd give more than 9 wins.
I mean, I don't know.
I want to give them one more just for the hell of it, but I won't.
It's interesting because is that a successful season?
I think that's the floor for them. Is 9 wins.
Is that a successful season if you're Ben Johnson and the Bears 9-8? No, it's the same thing you had when you got him.
I don't know.
They're such an enigma because you don't know what they are.
It's year one. It's not year one of the rebuild, but it's year one of Ben Johnson. So 9-8 is not great. I think that you'd like to at least get to 10 or 11. A playoff berth would be amazing.
I think I would give them that Commanders game.
I mean, you saw me struggle with it.
I
think that Commanders defense is going to be an Achilles heel all year long.
And Ben Johnson might just tear it up.
There's some great offenses in the NFC.
And then those divisional games, you never know. They could sweep the Lions. I could totally see that being a thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's a path to 10 or 11 or maybe even 12. I think they win anywhere from 12 to 9 games. That's like their range for me.
I don't know why 12 is too high for me, but I think 11 to 9.
I mean, so if they win 3 more games, so they can maybe take another game for Detroit.
Commanders. Do you have them beating Pittsburgh?
The Commanders. I haven't beaten Pittsburgh.
Good, because I'm about to say.
Maybe they take a game, and then maybe just one surprise game. Just one surprise game. Maybe they take that early Lions game.
Maybe Monday night, J.J. McCarthy struggles, and they get that week
J.J.
1
McCarthy's first start. Maybe they take that game. So
it's not Caleb Williams' first start. Yeah.
One surprise game, and then they take one of these.
You need some Caleb Williams magic to make this happen.
Yeah, 12 to 9 wins, not bad. That is I was a Detroit Lions. That is the Chicago Bears.
Fun team
as usual. I mean, just incredibly interesting. So much movement. I mean, a lot of reasons to be excited and a lot of reasons to be very pessimistic because of the past. They haven't been to a Super Bowl since 1985. They haven't won they haven't been to the playoffs since 2010. Like, I get the pessimism. I get Gabe's thing. Like, they always win in June.
It's true. They all do.
But you look at this roster and you think, how can this not work?
They do.
Even the Bears had to figure this one out.
They do feel a little bit incomplete. on offense. They need a running back.
They don't have that crown jewel.
Yeah.
Unless Caleb Williams is that guy.
And they just make it work. Yeah.
Unless he turns out to be the guy.
Well, Jane Daniels is the crown jewel of that offense.
Yeah. If he's anywhere near Jaden Daniels, the offensive support system is light years ahead of the Commanders.
I can't even tell you how much better it is.
Way better. If Jaden Daniels was on this team, good God. They're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah. Jane Daniels over there messing around with Zach Ertz and Deebo Samuel
and Terry McLaurin.
Michael Gallup.
Not in camp. And Michael Gallup.
He's on a team. That's crazy. Michael Gallup's on a roster. Hunter Renfrow just got signed.
Anything else with the Chicago Bears?
No. Apparently they're supposed to get a new stadium.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fun.
Figuring that out.
That sucks, though, because you've been to Chicago. Soldier Field's right there next to downtown.
Soldier.
And they want to make it a dome, apparently. That sucks. You like seeing the Bears be in the cold. Minnesota
right.
Vikings and the Chicago Bears being a little...
The Eagles are talking about that, too. You know why? You can't host Super Bowls if you don't have a dome.
It's money, baby.
It's a lot of money.
The Rams...
You can't host a lot of different events if you don't have a dome.
That sucks.
It's all about the dome.
It's all about the dome is good.
The Chicago Bears. That is the outlook so far as right now in June. If we come into camp and Luther Burton's looking sexy.
We're going to see some highlights.
By the way, Luther Burton just sounds like a sexy old R&B singer.
Luther Burton sounds like a villain.
Now taking the stage. Luther Burton.
Well, Luther Vandross and...
You see that happen?
No.
No?
I could see him being like a cool jazz player.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But you hear him singing. He's not a singer.
Oh, he's not a singer.
He gets that's the vibe.
He's not a singer.
He's not a singer. Luther does not sing.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate the channel if you're listening on the audio platforms. Download Better Picks. Use our code BENCH to get that free offer. That's our show for today, episode 243. The Chicago Bears, a preview. We'll be back again with another preview as we move our way through here, team by team, currently in the NFC North. See you. Bye.